We're going to cover the updates from American Farm Bureau in Puerto Rico, talk about the WASDE report that was just released, and so much more on today's episode of the Arkansas AgCast.
You're listening to the Arkansas AgCast, where we discuss the latest news, trends, and issues impacting Arkansas farmers and ranchers. Our show is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau Federation.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back.
We're here.
I'm glad to see you didn't run away.
No.
Week 2 with my friend John McMinn from our
Sir.
Commodities and Regulatory Affairs Department here at Farm Bureau.
Yep.
Thanks for being back.
And I'm super pumped. Maybe more than I was last week.
No. Stop that sarcasm right now.
Hey, I think he's jittery.
That's what it is.
He's
cold.
freezing, and he's just like, oh, let's go.
I will tell you, obviously, the temperature's dropping outside today. This is Thursday,
Indeed.
January 12th. I think it's snowing in some parts of Arkansas. We had our air conditioner on last night at my house.
We did
but
too.
In this room that we record in our podcast studio, it's 55 tops.
We might as well just be sitting outside at this point.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
There's
There's no shelter.
It is chilly
I
in
wore
here.
this pullover just for this reason, and it's still not enough.
Yeah. It is. It's chilly today. So anyway, if you see our teeth chattering or hear us, trying to warm up and move around,
Indeed.
no worries. I'll tell you somewhere it was not chilly. I bet Puerto Rico.
It was not.
Yeah, Mr. Pistol.
It was in my room a little bit. I could never get the AC regulated. in
Yeah.
the room. But
Better
yeah,
than a
it
hot
was-
hotel room, though.
Yeah,
It was-
I gotta tell you.
it was humid. It was warm.
Yeah.
Lots of bugs.
How was the beach?
I have no idea.
Never saw it.
I never saw the
way,
beach.
really.
Yeah,
Why's that?
I was working.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, a company man.
I was at the convention center more than anything.
Yeah. That
Probably
makes
should have
sense.
just slept there. We had a lot going on. There were a lot of events happening around the
events.
clock, and it was good.
More so than normal, probably. I would assume, just because of the location. Or
Yeah, there were more people than I thought would be there.
Yeah.
How would you rank it compared to other AFBF conventions?
Yeah.
Not as good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No knock on them.
Yeah.
It's harder to get some things just logistically there. The trade show, they didn't have as much going on. It was good.
I
but
thought about that. It's tough to get a giant combine.
yeah,
Did they have
unless
equipment?
you're.
they had some equipment that I think they pulled it out of the fields that were there.
Yeah,
in,
that makes
in
sense.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Good.
We had some exciting stuff happening with the wife and I. We were covering that quite a bit.
Yeah.
We had Sweet 16 discussion meet winner and wish.
a top 10
and top 10 achievement award.
achievement award
So,
winners with the Martins,
with
too,
the Martins.
who are
There you
faithful podcast listeners.
They
by the
are.
way.
They are.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you guys.
Lauren came up to me and said, "So you're Brian?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "I listen to you guys every week." I'm like,
Oh
"Really?"
man, did you feel like did you
She's-
sign an autograph?
No, she
for her?
didn't know what it looked like because she's never
Yeah.
watched it. She listens to it, so
Nothing wrong
she's
with
a
that.
she's a faithful listener.
Nothing
where
wrong
you
with
can.
that. Yeah.
So it was good.
Well, good. I'm glad y'all had a good time.
Yeah,
and
it was interesting.
Some exciting news covered down there. Policy updates we're going to cover on the
Yep.
show.
Yeah.
John, I think you're going to cover some
Big one.
news, a big one on the right to repair front. So, yeah, we'll talk more about convention, but we just wanted to check in with you. You flew in last night. I mean, you're fresh.
All day
You're fresh
yesterday.
back. Yeah.
I got on the plane, and they immediately announced the FAA was putting a halt to everything.
No
and
way. You
I had
were
already-
on the plane.
and was
Oh, man.
locked in, baby.
Had
Well.
your air vents ready and set and comfortable?
It was hot on that plane.
I bet.
Yeah,
else?
and they're funny about letting you off. Like once you
Oh,
get
yeah.
on, like
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't like to let you
Yeah.
deplane. So.
And then once we finally got pulled away, it was like an hour and a half into it. We finally pulled away, and we got out to our spot. And
Yeah.
the pilot was like, "Well, when it rains, it pours. San Juan only has one runway working right now,
Mm.
and they won't let us take off. So we sat for another half hour.
Oh
Man,
my god.
in the
So-
plane.
My back was hurting so bad.
I bet.
By the time I made it home.
Yeah. Okay. Well, glad you're back.
Thank you.
Glad you made it home.
Glad to be back.
Hate
glad
that
to be
we
back.
got it so cold for you, but
I am freezing.
we were up to a little trouble while you were gone.
Detail.
We've been doing some scheming. So I think last week we talked about the Arkansas Grown Conference,
Yeah.
which is coming up January 25th through 28th
Yes.
at the Embassy Suites here.
Sir.
You want to break the news to him?
Podcast.
Okay.
We're
At the
going
trade
live,
show.
baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Try to do some interviews there. Try to get some people to talk to us about what is going on at the conference and
Exciting.
what it means to the state.
Yeah, it turns
Excited.
out a lot of specialty crop focus there, as
Yeah.
we know. Our
That's
friend Mac used to do quite a bit of that. So,
Bit
and
of the
he's
fanboy.
working on our presence there as a sponsor in our booth.
Nice.
So
I'll be there the whole week.
we kind of put our heads together. So why
Very
don't we go
nice.
over there and record
That's great.
do the podcast? So we'll be there. We'll be live at the Arkansas Grown Conference in 2 weeks.
Hopefully, it won't be as cold as it is in here. So
Well, I will be more prepared.
Yeah,
I will have
yeah.
jackets.
Yeah, for sure. Other big news this week: the 94th General Assembly kicked off. So, in addition to gubernatorial inauguration this week, we have our legislators are back in session for the 94th General Assembly. Our team, I haven't seen anybody from government relations team all week. They've all been down at the Capitol.
all the lights are off here. There to
Yeah, no doubt. So they're either napping or at the Capitol, and I have a bet. But
Or
Napping
napping
at
at the Capitol.
we're napping at the Capitol. I didn't think about that.
They're not here to defend themselves.
We did help them with pull together some content earlier in the week, sort of previewing the session and the priorities for Arkansas Farm Bureau at the session and sort of what their team will be working on. If you didn't get to see that, that is live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like to get our content. Also on our website, go check it out. It's Mark Lambert's first session as our director of state affairs. So you'll hear directly from him about the priorities and what we're working on this week.
That's a
And
good video.
That's a good one. Yeah, I
I
thought so
liked
too.
it. I liked it. Stanley did a really good job. Mark as well, of course.
Yeah. And Matthew got some good coverage of all the action on the first day of the session on Monday, which included swearing in of all the new elected officials. So anyway, go check that out. It's there. It's easy to find. And then I think we talked about the Ag Census deadline or the Ag Census an episode or two before. But if not, it's out. It's available. You need to go ahead and fill that out.
Please.
The deadline for the Ag Census is February 6th. Is it a pretty simple process?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all online and straightforward.
Okay.
All you got, the biggest sacrifice you have is about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of time.
Yeah, good. Super important to be represented. We talk about that a lot here. Your needs are important, and nobody will know about that unless you speak up and participate in that process. nas.usda.gov/ag census. That's nass.usda.gov/ag census. And
I'll just say that, a lot of that information that comes out of that ag census is where we pull data from to help, whether it's policy or, talking to any representatives about the needs and wants of farmers in the state. That's a big representation. So without that information, we can't do majority of the work that we do.
Yeah, that's a great build. Yeah. Good thought. So please go fill that out. Again, the deadline's February 6th, Ag Census. It's on USDA's website. Go knock it out. All right, well, let's get into the news. There is a lot to cover this week. If you're listening or watching, I will tell you that in advance, but I think all of it has some good value to it. There's just a lot of it. It's been busy. So we'll kick off this week with some data from the latest WASDE report. As I mentioned at the top of the show, that report was released just a few minutes ago as of this recording. You can get the full report at USDA.gov, but we're going to hit some highlights for totals of crop commodity data for last year and how that compares to what's being projected for this year. How about we start with wheat? The USDA is projecting about 1 million fewer acres of wheat planted this year, with the harvested crop projection following suit, coming in about 1.5 million acres fewer than last year. Moving on to corn, we're seeing quite a drop in corn projected for this season, right at 5 million fewer acres planted, and therefore 5 million acres missing from the harvest, according to USDA. The markets seemed to predict this drop before the report was released this morning. And then keeping the theme of projected acres drops in the report, rice acres are looking to be potentially down, but not by much, off by less than 500,000 acres from last year. USDA projecting that 2.2 million acres will be planted and right at 2.1 harvested. And then rounding out that report with soybeans, USDA believes will maintain the acres from last year. Good news for soybean farmers, both planted and harvested. They're predicting 87.5 million acres planted and about 86.6 million acres harvested in the fall for the U.S. Just to wrap all this up, the largest crop in Arkansas had a big year in 2022. That's soybeans, of course, with more than 3 million acres, up 140,000 acres over the previous year based on USDA reporting. In addition to acres being up, yield was also projected to a state record high of 53 bushels per acre average. Congrats to those growers for that.
Yes, sir.
We beat the national average of yield based on today's report. I did go look at that because I wanted to see how we stacked up. And analysts believed last year's crop in Arkansas could be valued at $2 billion or more. So far, the market was up ahead of the WASDE this morning, so that number could change. But yeah, those are the numbers for acres planted and harvested last year and what USDA is projecting for this year.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's there's a lot there, a lot to unpack. We didn't cover everything, of course, and you can see much more exact numbers if you go and look at that report. But
yeah, and there might be a chance for us to do something with those numbers as the economist in our department. So maybe looking out for that. Maybe just like social media.
Yeah,
little blurb.
I think that'd be super helpful.
So yeah, not to spill any beans or anything.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna change it up. I'm gonna do one more story before I kick it over to you, John. How about an update from the American Farm Bureau convention? Like we said, just wrapped up in San Juan, Puerto Rico. More than 300 delegates of the American Farm Bureau Federation set the 2023 policy objectives for the organization Tuesday, with key topics ranging from expanding risk management programs and improving dairy pricing, transparency, to battling hunger. An interesting note, delegates were polled regarding their farms at the beginning of the voting season, at the beginning of the voting session. The results show almost 99%, which is 334 delegates, of those who cast votes operate family farms, and almost 65% represent small to mid-sized farms as defined by the USDA. Thought that was an interesting note. The delegates voted to modernize the Farm Bill by expanding baseline funding, developing more flexible disaster relief programs, and extending protection to more specialty crops. Certainly things that we've heard here in our own policy development conversations in the state. In addition, the group voted to bring more transparency to the federal milk pricing system. Several changes to policy included support for more USDA audits of processing costs to ensure data remains accurate, and a federal milk marketing orders voting procedure that requires cooperatives to communicate more clearly with members regarding proposed changes. The results of an FMMO forum hosted by AFBF in October served as a guidepost for policy changes there. Recognizing growing food insecurity in the U.S., delegates approved new policy to support access to nutrition programs, including connecting farms directly with food banks, increasing the number of SNAP-approved food sales outlets, and other efforts to produce available to make produce available to families living in food deserts. On trade, delegates have added policy for USDA to continue working with the Mexican government to drop a proposed ban on imports of biotech corn. The new policy also encourages USDA to urge the Mexican government to accept established science on the safety of U.S. biotech products. And rounding this out, voting delegates also formalized Farm Bureau's position opposing the 2022 Waters of the U.S. rule, WOTUS as we call it here, and a proposed Securities and Exchange Commission rule if it requires Scope 3 emissions reporting from farms. You can read more about Arkansas's view on the WOTUS ruling in this past Monday's edition of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. They talked to our president, Rich Hillman, about that, and certainly look at Monday's edition if you want to read more. Rounding it out, there was a big MOU signed in San Juan. I think you've got the details on that one, though.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
All right, I can take a break.
Well, Jason, you're correct. The American Farm Bureau Federation and John Deere announced a Memorandum of Understanding, or an MOU, as it's called, that will allow farmers to repair their own equipment. This has been a priority for not only AFBF, but also Arkansas Farm Bureau for some time now. The MOU was announced during AFBF's annual convention in Puerto Rico on Sunday and ensures farmers and ranchers' right to repair their own equipment. The agreement formalizes the availability and access to parts, tools, software, and documentation to perform repairs and maintenance. In the past, we've been able to work on our own equipment, but with all the technology that's involved in machinery and farm equipment, this is really important because we hadn't been able to do that with software and such. Zippy Duval, American Farm Bureau president, commented saying this will enable you and your independent mechanics to identify and fix problems. You will have access to the diagnostic tools and information you need, and you'll get it at a fair and reasonable price. Mm-hmm. With the MOU, farmers can either repair equipment on their own or go to an independent technician. It also helps dodge legislation around the issue. Several states had introduced their own right to repair legislation, but as stated on the MOU released this week, the agreement will happen through a voluntary private sector commitment to outcomes rather than legislative or regulatory measures. A spokesman for John Deere states, the agreement with the American Farm Bureau Federation formalizes the long-standing commitment Deere has made to ensure our customers have the diagnostic tools and information they need to repair their machines. We look forward to working alongside the American Farm Bureau and our customers in the months and years ahead to ensure farmers continue to have the tools and resources they need to diagnose, maintain, and repair their equipment.
Nice.
As an old GPS consultant, I know the farmer's pain here.
Second time on the show, second time you've had to talk about your precision experience.
I've got my little things apparently, I guess.
Yeah, you do. Well, what we're hearing here in the lower 48, I guess, has been nothing but good reactions to this, as far as I know. THV reached out earlier this week to talk about this, and they went and connected with Trent Dabbs in Arkansas County and talked to you too, right?
Yeah, Trent did a really good job. He hit the high points and the farmer's perspective on why this is important.
Yeah, I mean, it's
time and
efficiency,
money,
time and money, right? I mean, that's what keeps farms going in a lot of cases. I'll give you a compliment. You did a nice job of explaining to a consumer, why this is relevant, why this is important.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to explain it is imagine if you could only take your vehicle to the dealership, and the dealership's an hour or two away.
Yeah,
and it could be a week before they get to your vehicle. It's an extreme situation, but it's comparable.
And there's no courtesy car in this situation.
Yeah, there's no courtesy car. There's no third-party mechanic. There's nothing you can do in your own town or on your own farm in this situation. So apples for apples, oranges for oranges, kind of thing. But this is big.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how far this goes. And also, I believe they're in conversations with other equipment manufacturers other than John Deere.
Yeah.
Where that's going, I don't know.
Yeah. I know that's one of the things Trent mentioned in his story. He said, I hope this continues to grow outside of this one manufacturer.
Not everybody runs John Deere equipment.
There's
a lot of other manufacturers out there.
That's right.
So let's take a break from the news for a moment to hear a bit about resources available to Farm Bureau members during this all-important political season.
Yeah, that's right. This week kicked off a new legislative session, like we said, and the inauguration of a new governor. And our team here at Farm Bureau has built a library of resources for engaging with your elected officials. You can pick up a printed copy of your 2023 legislative directory here at the state office or find the directory online with much more information at arcelect.com. That's ARKelect.com.
And if you would like to stay up to date with the action at the state capitol throughout the session, sign up for our legislative updates. We send that out every Monday and Friday. Just text ARFB to 52866 to subscribe. All right, let's get back to the news.
All right, let's celebrate some legends in the ag industry today. How about it? The Arkansas Agriculture Hall of Fame has announced 5 honorees for the 35th class to be inducted in March. The Arkansas Agriculture Hall of Fame began in 1987 to promote awareness and honor those who helped local communities and the state prosper. This year's 5 inductees up the organization's number to honorees to 181. Inductees include Arkansas Century Farm owner, operator, and philanthropist Ellis Bell of my hometown, Forest City. Arkansas State University professor of ag economics Burt Greenwald of Jonesboro. Innovative rice farmer Chris Isbell of Humnoke. Veteran cotton farmer and industry leader Steve Stevens of Tiller. And the late Jesse J.D. Vaught of Horatio, a pioneer in contract livestock production. The induction ceremony is set for 11:30 a.m. on Friday, March 3rd at the Little Rock Convention Center. Luncheon tickets to this year's induction ceremony are $80 each. For individual tickets and tables of 10 are available as well. You can find it all at ArkansasAgHallOfFame.org, including your tickets for the event.
I've always really liked going to the Ag Hall of Fame.
It's so cool.
You know, those inductees, you can tell it's really important to them. Their career kind of comes out to them in their speech, you know, and thanking everybody. It can be kind of emotional and, you know, happy for them. Congratulations.
Yeah. One of the things you realize is just how big of an impact Arkansas agriculture has had on the world.
Yeah.
Thinking about last year and one of our honorees and these sort of equations that he had written in calculating timber production and yield being used in algorithms in work that apps and computers are doing. It's just, that's just one small example.
Yeah, it's very really deserving. Cool. These people dedicate their lives to agriculture, to one industry. They could do anything else they wanted.
Yeah.
So, it's an honor it's pretty cool to see these people honored like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, moving on, last but not least, Arkansas Farm Bureau's very own Jake Cartwright and Tyler Auctioner of the Commodity and Regulatory Affairs Department have published a new Ag Insider article / infographic.
Okay.
During the 2022 policy development season, a hot topic from many county Farm Bureau meetings was, quote unquote, should we restrict foreign land ownership in the state of Arkansas?
Oh, yeah. Talked about a lot.
It was widespread. The information provided in the article is intended to provide a look into the current state of foreign land ownership in the natural state, with information sourced from USDA's Farm Service Agency. I won't go through the whole article that they wrote. I won't ruin it for you.
Yeah.
But here's some, high points that came from the article.
Yeah.
Foreign-owned ag land in Arkansas accounts for 4% of the total ag land in the state, which puts Arkansas at number 11 in the country.
Okay.
Ranked amongst other states, of course. That 4% accounts for just over 1.1 million acres. So, the 4% doesn't sound like that big of a number, but when you look at the actual acreage spread out, it has kind of an impact.
Yeah, sure,
more
exactly.
than 4% represents. Most of the foreign-owned ag land in the state is forestry, with row crops second and pasture land coming in third. Also, entities from the Netherlands account for the largest chunk of foreign ag land ownership in the state, coming in at 36% of that 1.1 million acres. I think people probably had some other thoughts in mind, but it was surprising to me to see the Netherlands at the top of that list.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean the government.
No,
state,
just
state
entities,
owned,
individuals. They're not specific government owned. Property or anything like that.
Yeah, good clarification.
Lastly, the one other thing I wanted to highlight was some of our neighbors in the South.
Oh, yeah.
Where they kind of stand.
Take a look at the SEC.
Yeah, the SEC. We won't talk about that basketball game last night. Other southern states include Louisiana. They ranked number 6 nationally at 5.8%. Florida, number 5 at 5.8% also. And Alabama, number 4, 6.2%. But if you are interested in reading the whole article, which includes exact acreage numbers and much more, it is available on our website, arfb.com. Just search Ag Insider.
Yeah, okay.
Pop up. Yeah. Feel free to contact Jake or Tyler for more details about their analysis on the article. They'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
Yeah. Do we have every state? in the report?
We don't. We have the top 11 states.
The top 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think I saw it and it's mapped out.
It is.
You can see.
There's several different charts to kind of give you a visual of kind of how it comes out, because these stats and economics can kind of really bore you especially after eating lunch or something,
Well, I got to tell you, I love the idea, just the concept. This came from concerns at the county level through the PD process, and now we've come and issued a report. This did go out earlier in the week in an email, so if you're on the Ag Insider list, you probably have gotten this. Go back and take a look. If not, you want to receive it, send one of us a note, comment down below if you're on Facebook or YouTube. We'll send you. We'll get you added to the list. We'll send it to you, or you can just go to the website, like you said, ARFB, and search Ag Insider.
Yep.
And check it out. All right, that's the news for the day. Mr. Pistole, do you have any fun for us?
I do.
Okay.
I told you I'd mix it up some.
Yeah, I know.
So today's,
yeah,
I'm kind of a hobbit.
Okay.
So
I feel like that's a tip.
And in fitting tradition with that, I thought we'd do riddles.
Riddles.
So, like, for example, what has a neck but no head?
What has a neck but no
Bottle?
head?
Look at him go. See, you're going to be great at this.
Dude.
I can already tell.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit harder, though.
Okay.
What 5-letter word, if you type it in all capital letters, can also be read the same upside down?
I don't have a clue.
This is like those old TI-83 calculators.
Yes,
well,
exactly.
Watch it now.
So I can see you typing it out.
Yeah.
It swims.
Swims.
So if you
But
were
it has to be
flipping-
capital.
yeah.
Because
All
of the M and
capitals.
the- Yeah, that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
The more you take, the more you leave behind. I don't know. The more you take.
Give us a hint.
Yeah.
If I give you a hint, I mean,
I don't know.
The more I
more-
take, the less
the more you
or no.
take, the less,
The
the more you leave behind.
Money.
steps.
Footsteps.
All right.
Footsteps.
Yep.
It was your gesture, I will
Yeah.
say. You helped us.
It was. So I'll give you one more.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm easy to lift, but hard to throw.
Easy to lift, hard to throw.
Piece of paper.
No. Close, though.
Feather.
Paper airplane.
Feather.
A feather.
A feather.
Wow.
Two.
See?
Dude.
Wow.
It did.
My favorite riddle goes way back. What's black and white and red all over?
Newspaper.
Yeah.
Three. I didn't have a lot of confidence coming into this.
I know. Look at you.
Well, I told you these were the easy ones. They'll get harder.
Oh.
I'm not very quick.
Riddles are tough.
Yeah.
Dead air is not a good thing. Here we are. We're like, I don't
Well, then you just need to fill it in with
yeah, exactly. Oh man, those are good.
Yeah.
I dig that. I like a good riddle.
What's that game show that has that sound in the background?
Jeopardy?
Is it Jeopardy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little
You
clock
can do-
ticking stuff.
you can-
I can do something like that.
Maybe we need to do that. Yeah.
I'll
just
work
to
on
fill
that.
it
How's
in.
that?
What are you, a producer or something?
Hey,
Come on.
I'm just a creative guy. Creative economist.
A creative economist, one in a million.
That's right. That's why we asked him to be on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. Well, that wraps up the news for the week. Thanks for following along with the Arkansas AgCast. We're grateful to you for taking the time to watch and listen.
Remember, you can catch the video production every Thursday at 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the audio version later on iTunes or Spotify, and make sure you leave us a review when you have 2 extra minutes.
Yeah. The Arkansas AgCast is brought to you by the Arkansas Farm Bureau and hosted by me, Jason Brown.
And me, John McMahon.
All right. That does it. We'll
See you next week.